Ladies and gentlemen, gamers, Champions Club members, the Doc has finally spoken out. Over the course of the last couple of hours, he's actually done 2 interviews, one with the Washington Post and one with PC Gamer. We're going to go over the PC Gamer ones, we're going to dive straight into this, because it has been 3 weeks and we've had nothing from the Doc, from Twitch, from nobody. But this interview, I've read a little bit so far, and I must say, it's very interesting, so let's get on into it. So, interview, Dr. Disrespect talks about his Twitch ban, the rumours, and his future. After weeks of silence, Guy Bean discusses about his Twitch ban and what's next. 3 weeks ago, we've had all of this, so we're going to kick straight into the interview. PC Gamer. It's been almost 3 weeks since you were banned from Twitch. I imagine it's been very frustrating. I would love to start with just hearing what's been happening behind the scenes with you. What's been going on these past 3 weeks, I mean, well, a lot of stuff, obviously. While it's unfortunate that I'm off Twitch, we're definitely working behind the scenes on what a doc return might look like. In terms of specifics, we're not interested in exclusive at this point. We're exploring our options and honestly just can't wait to get back into the character soon. We have a lot to do and I'll be wherever fans want me to be, and that's been our approach. When you say you're not interested in exclusive, can you clarify? Well, let's just say all the cards are on the table. I'm more focused on just making sure whatever we do next, whether it's a platform move or not, that it's the right decision for the community and the Champions Club that follows me. That makes sense to what I want to continue to accomplish with this character in terms of taking things to the next level. And whether it's streaming or outside of streaming, so it's just being conscientious of that decision. In a follow-up email, he clarified he even considering streaming independently on his Championship Club GG website. Given the connection that you have with your audience and how important that is, I'm sure you can appreciate that there's been a lot of concern and worry over the past few weeks. Why didn't you give people an update just to say hi, even if you had nothing really concrete to say? Which everyone has been wondering about this, and this is where it comes in. Well, to be honest, okay, so we got the news. It was total shock. Imagine just going to work one day and the door is closed and you can't get inside and you've been told that you were fired and you weren't given a reason why, And so, for me, it was just an initial shock. The way I discovered it too. I was on a buddy stream and some of the features started turning off while I was just in a chat and everything. And then all of a sudden, social media was blowing up. I got on the call with my team and after one quick email, it was all over. At that particular moment, it was more of just kind of shocked, like, what just happened, And both my wife and I are just like, what's going on? So that's kind of how things kind of went down. And then from there, you're sort of just digesting it. You're still not getting any answers. So that's kind of why I wouldn't have known what to say, We put out the one tweet, our statement, and that's kind of where things are at. So it's still currently at that same situation where we're still talking things out. I understand that you have a lot of business arrangements to consider too, like the TV show you're working on with Skybound. I can imagine it's scary to be in this position where your main platform has been sort of yanked out underneath you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's, in terms of the thinking, that's all going through your mind. For me, it was pretty tough I had to get off social media. I mean, just to see all the speculations and theories, things that my name has been surrounded with. And it was all just really heartbreaking to see a certain extent, because we worked so hard to get to this point. But, we're ready to go. We're excited to take the next steps, and I'm really focused on the community for now. We've got lots of fun stuff planned, lots of projects that are in the works, and continue on, baby. And Twitch just cut off contact with you. They've never provided you a reason for the ban. Yeah. That seems crazy to me. To ban one of his most famous, popular streamers and then to not even tell them what they did wrong. Yeah, that's kind of the mind-blowing thing about all of this. Obviously, for legal counsel, I have to be careful here. But I can say, however, that I will not be returning to Twitch, so, that's it. And now we've got the tweet that he sent. Sure, I'm not a famous streamer, but if I was a famous streamer and I got banned for no reason, especially considering the Dr. Disrespect character and who he is, I think my response would be to get out on social media and shout from the rooftops and be like, hey, this is unfair. I'm curious why you haven't done that. Well, I'm trying to take the best and appropriate steps as possible. And there are things behind the scenes in terms from a legal standpoint that I can't, that's where it's at. And so I don't want to go on social media and say the wrong thing or the right thing or whatever it is. And we made our statement. That's where things are right now. As we build this game plan to make this doc come back, that's still kind of in the works in terms of what the vision looks like. I'm working with my creative team, the graphics going and talking the whole Doc 3.0 experience to the next level. And so that's where my focus is now. So are you able to confirm that legal action is taking place? You are taking legal action against Twitch. This is the cool and the very unusual answer. We are considering taking legal action. With that, obviously a lot of people are like, well, what if it's because of this whole Me Too movement, or because of this, or because of that? Obviously, if he's considering taking legal action against Twitch, it's possibly over something that, a lot of people have been saying, yeah, just ban him and we're not going to tell anyone why because we can just ban people. With Mixer closing, a lot of people have said. I've said that in past video as well. This has happened and Twitch, they're like, we don't want to pay him 20 mil. So I'll just say we just get rid of him. So, when do you think you might, if ever, have a definitive answer as to reason why you were banned? Honestly, we just don't know. Dr. Disrespect is a very controversial character, and I don't need to tell you that it's almost baked into who he is as a person. Do you think that Twitch singled you out because maybe it felt like you were just too controversial for his platform? Honestly, I don't know. I've been very transparent with those around me and my community over the past few years, which he has. You cannot fault him for that. Not a perfect person, I've made mistakes. But if anybody knows me, follows me, I've stepped up and I've taken full responsibility each and every time. Behind the scenes, behind the curtains, a lot of people don't understand how much work I've put into becoming a better person for myself and my family, as well as the business. I'm committed to investing in being and continuing to be a better person and investing in creative products around the dock. My focus now is continuing the momentum and returning to my chair, hanging out with the Champions Club and launching a couple fun creative experiences. Yep, and that's where we're at. Sure, I want to talk about that, but first, you did recently ruffle a few feathers after sharing a video during a stream of Dr. Thomas Cohen, and he was talking about some coronavirus theories. You've been open recently in sharing some of your own thoughts about the virus and even relating it to things like 5G networks. Even on your last stream, you were talking about David Icke and his documentary. I'm curious, in bringing up those thoughts, and I think it's okay to call them controversial, did that ever result in Twitch saying anything to you or warning you? No. So you don't think that might be the cause? I don't think so. In fact, Beam's publicist jumped in. We're getting really close to dangerous territory here. So, Doc, we don't know why Twitch banned him, and there is no formal warnings or reprimand on record. That's all legal is going to let him say. This is just, wow, it's just getting more and more Okay, I just have one question that's semi-related because there's also this current climate online of people coming forward to share stories of this and this in the games industry. Twitch recently has banned several streamers who have been outed as this and otherwise toxic individuals. To your knowledge, is your Twitch ban the result of someone alleging that you've done this to them in any way? Listen, I'm not interested in engaging in crazy speculation. I've seen all the theories, I've seen all the possible conspiracies, and it's just I'm just not interested in engaging in that type of stuff. I have a great community, loyal fans, and I'm totally focused on getting back and delivering great, entertaining content, and that's where the focus is. It's absolutely crazy, all of this is. How much we got left to go? Oh, it's quite a nice interview. Well, I will leave the link below as well to this, so people can give it a read themselves. Okay, let's switch gears here a little bit. Let's talk about this reboot. What can you tell me about what you're looking to do right now? You're going to have to tune in to find out. That's part of the fun. I think that's one of Doc's things is doing these cool projects and the big surprise elements that are involved. Whether it's directly through the stream or a combination of social media and the stream, but fans should expect Doc 3.0, we're launching new cinematic focused on pushing the envelope, just like I've tried since I've started streaming, and that's the focus. See why it would be exciting, especially for your fans? You keep saying 3.0, is this going to feel like a new and reimagined Dr. Disrespect? I don't want to go into details of what that means, but when you start to look at potential projects outside of the streaming space, and then you combine those with a character in the streaming space, I think you're going to see his universe open up a lot bigger, and that's probably the best way I could describe it. It almost sounds like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type of thing. That'd be the goal, that'd be the goal. Well, it's always felt very avant-garde that you have created this idea of playing, essentially, a WWE villain on streaming platforms. It felt very novel. I can imagine it's exciting to see that idea take shape and grow bigger. Yep, it's been a really exciting, surrounded by great people on a great team, and we've been really working hard to try and get it to this point. You know, over the past couple of years, and yeah, I'm just really excited for the future. Definitely. That was one thing I wanted to talk about to set the record straight, and that is the final moments of your last stream on Twitch. People really latched on and analysed those few minutes you're signing off because it seemed very out of character. You've been watching these clips and then all of a sudden, your tone changes. Are you able to tell me what happened there? Which, we all saw this, it was crazy. Again, I've seen all the types of theories and speculation out there, and it's gut-wrenching and disheartening. But in terms of that particular piece, I could speak directly to, I was in a moment where I was just sort of taking in what's going on in the world, you know? If people had context of that clip going into it, and then coming out of it, all I was talking about was just the state of the world that we're dealing with the protests and the coronavirus and everything that was happening. It's just man, and at that particular moment, I think I was just kind of going through when can we break this funk of 2020? Just being me in a real stream. Is that pretty normal for you, for your character to break character like that during your streams? Yeah, I would say so. Whether it's a personal story, whether it could be related to my daughter or sports or growing up. Sometimes I'll step out of the fictional world of the doc just so I could tell more of a human-sided story. So we got a few more questions. We're going to quickly read through these. Everyone watching the clip being this is the moment he found out, but you're saying it was completely unrelated. Yes, it's interesting timing for sure. You said earlier that you're not interested in an exclusive deal, but is there a specific platform you're looking to migrate to in the near term? No, we're focused on the doc's return. We haven't made any decisions on platforms. We're not interested in looking for any exclusive or any of that stuff. All the cards are on the table. Again, it's just making sure that the decision that we make and the route that we take is the correct route for the community to follow, and I think that's the most important is the Champions Club. They want to see the doc back, and I want to get back as well. Interesting because your streaming career has had a lot of ups and downs, maybe more so than any other big streamer I can think of. Part of that feels very on brand for Dr. Disrespect as a character, to get himself into these tough situations and preserve. But how does all that affect you personally? Absolutely affects me. It affects me on the personal level. I've been challenged with anxiety for the past, high levels of anxiety I've never experienced in my life. Past couple of weeks simply because it's what is going on? What has happened? It's, absolutely, of course, it's affected me. You were talking about how hurtful it's been since, seeing social media. It's the easy answer to that. I walk right from the studio, right into my house, and I look at my family, my wife, my daughter, and the people that I'm surrounded with, the team I'm with, and in terms of that part, we're in such a good position. We're in a good state of life. So once you step out of the streaming studio, you just sort of flip a switch and back to normal? To a certain degree. And so what he says here now is the key part as well. I think it's a different instance because, you're talking about career, you're talking about financials, you're talking about vision and projects that are put on temporarily hold, until we figure things out behind the scenes. And you're talking potential legal action. It's just okay. One fact of the story is, I'm sure you're aware of this, there are people coming forward and saying they know the reason you're banned. For example, Rod Slasher was on a stream just yesterday saying he knows why you were banned, but he doesn't want to say because he fears it could make him the target of a defamation lawsuit. What do you make of that? Listen, again, I'm not interested in engaging in any of that stuff or crazy speculation. I'll say it again. I have a great community of loyal fans and I'm totally focused on just getting back to the Champions Club and delivering great entertainment. Okay, but have you made any attempt to understand what he's talking about? Like if someone had dirt on me, even if I knew it was total BS, I would at least want to know what they thought they knew. Have you tried to contact him or any of his parties? No. And that's where they finish. The interesting thing with all of this is obviously we've got a few people saying, we know why the doc was banned, or we know why. And the doc's like, fair enough, he may not be able to, because obviously his publicist is in this as well. They're like, yeah, we can't go that far. So with him saying we're looking to take potential legal action against Twitch, that's crazy. Because if it was anything to do with what's been going on, obviously this whole Me Too movement and stuff like that, then obviously it would be a huge thing. And like Slasher said, it's outside, potential law enforcement or whatever, but there's nothing around. Obviously, if he was arrested, there'd be mugshots, but there's not. And I can personally see that it's probably to do with, like a lot of people have said, Mixer closing. They didn't want to pay him all that money because they thought he was going to go, but all of a sudden he's staying, and they're like, yeah, we'll just get rid of him. But if he's saying he doesn't know, to be honest with you, at this moment in time, we have to believe what he says. Because, again, at this moment in time, all we got is a few people saying, well, I know why, but I'm not telling anyone. But when you've got the actual person come out and say, yeah, I still don't know why, we're looking at legal action. So, something's happened. Obviously, it's an NDA. He can't speak anything about it. Even his publicist has said, we're in dangerous territory here. Obviously, that was regarding certain elements of what's come out. And personally now, if he starts streaming on Champions Club, I'll go and watch him there. But we got Spotify coming out in just over a month and a bit. Maybe he's there. Who knows? And if he's, they thought something was happening and he's like, you know what? No, I was staying with Twitch, but I'm going to try and take legal action against you now because we had a contract. And like he said as well, he's been trying to make himself even better. I'd be exactly the same. If I just signed a $20 million contract, I would be on my best behaviour like anything. And before we sign off, when they were saying about Twitch has gotten rid of certain streamers because of things that have come out against him, Tom Syndicate, he's still streaming and he's had 2 people come out against him. The doc, no, banned instantly. And to see that when he was on stream, things started shutting down like he couldn't do anything, and he was starting to get, obviously you would get worried. So to me there, something's a little bit more fishier than what anyone's letting on. But if we don't know, we don't know. But I thought this was great that he's actually come out now. He's actually said something. The Doc 3.0. And for all we know, if this is a whole act between Twitch, just so they can get a brand new version of the Doc on there, well played. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates. And I'll see all you lovely people soon.